the man who carried a stone in his pocket. Once upon a time, there was a man whom everyone called righteous. He never raised his voice in public, never got into trouble, followed every rule, paid what he owed, and faithfully attended the temple. On the outside, he seemed impeccable, but there was something nobody knew. In the left pocket of his jacket, he always carried a small stone. It wasn't big, it wasn't heavy. At first, he had kept it the day he argued with his brother. There were no blows, no shouts to draw attention, just words. Words spoken with pride, words that left invisible wounds, words that neither of them wanted to take back afterwards. He began. He should apologize. I didn't do anything wrong. And so the stone remained in his pocket. Every time he went to the temple, he carried it with him. He would kneel, present his offering, sing with solemnity, but when he raised his hands, the stone would gently strike his chest. At first it didn't bother him. It was just a small reminder, but as the days went by, the stone began to weigh on him. It didn't grow in size, but it did in burden. His back started to hunch a little. His face became more serious, his prayer shorter, his heart harder. One night he dreamed that he was walking toward a great illuminated altar. He carried his offering with pride, wanting to present it, but every time he tried to move forward, something held him back. He looked down, and now the stone was enormous. He tried to lay it before the altar, but a gentle voice said to him, "You cannot offer peace while you keep war in your pocket." He woke up with his heart racing. That day he went to the temple as usual. He knelt down, but as he was about to present his offering, he remembered the dream and thought of his brother. He remembered when they were children, remembered the times they defended each other, remembered the laughter they shared. He felt the stone burning in his pocket, and then he did something he had never done before. He stood up, left the temple, did not finish the ceremony, and walked through the streets with his heart pounding. Each step was heavy, but also freer. When he arrived at his brother's house, he knocked on the door with trembling hands. He hadn't prepared any speeches, he didn't bring arguments to win, he only brought the stone. When his brother opened the door, there was a long silence. The man put his hand in his pocket, took out the stone, looked at it, and let it fall to the ground. "I don't want to keep carrying this." That was all. There were no grand speeches, no reproaches, just two men understanding that pride had weighed on them for too long. They embraced and something broke. But it wasn't the bond. It was the hardness of their hearts. That night, when the man returned to the temple, he had nothing in his pocket. His back was straight, his breathing calm, his prayer light. Then he understood what it truly means to be righteous. It's not enough to not kill. It's not enough to comply outwardly. It's not enough to appear righteous. True justice begins within, because many times we don't destroy with weapons. We destroy with words, with silence, with harbored resentments. Great ruptures begin with small, unattended stones, and the most important altar is not in the temple, but in the heart. If there is pride there, the offering becomes heavy. If there is reconciliation there, life breathes. Maybe today you also have a stone. Maybe it bears someone's name. Maybe it's not a brother. Maybe it's an old wound. A word for which forgiveness was never asked. A conversation that was avoided. To reconcile is not to pretend that nothing happened, nor is it just to keep up appearances. It is to decide that conflict will not rule your heart. It is to choose freedom, because when the heart is filled with unresolved tensions, faith becomes heavy, and when the heart chooses forgiveness, life is filled with peace. May the Lord heal what hurts in your heart today. May He grant you the grace to let go of what weighs you down, and the courage to take the first step toward peace. May His light illuminate your relationships. May His love soften your words, and may His peace dwell in your home. May God bless you, protect you, and accompany you in every decision you make. And if this story spoke to your heart, comment, share, and subscribe. Help me continue growing this beautiful community of faith and hope.